to my channel. So here this video I'm going to discuss about like SDLC process. So this video is helpful for those who doesn't know about like SDLC process. So SDLC is nothing but a software or system development life cycle. So this SDLC is like most important concept in like software industry. So here I'm going to discuss about that whole SDLC processes, how that SDLC thing works, and all those things. What is the like basics of SDLCs, and how that software has been developed through that processes. So basically, our first slide is like that. What is SDLC? So SDLC basically it is a framework that define the steps which is like uh, involving development of software from like a development point of view. Okay, so SDLC it is kind of you can say a structural approach to create a software, or here like that it is kind of a process like step-by-step process. Through that process, like software will be developed by that help of developer, and like that by the help of development team and testing team and like who like agile team or scrum team. Okay, so this framework is followed for all over the software industries. Now there is some phrases are there in SDLC process. So first thing is like that our requirement analysis, where that we are gathering the requirement from customer point of view, and then we have to do some system design where that we are discussing about like which kind of technology we need to implement to for making this software. Then we have to implement it, and this is also called like implementation cycle or development cycle, where the developer has started writing the code, and then it comes to testing phase where that we testers are testing that application based on our requirement. Then we have deployment phase where the DevOps team has deployed that full code to production. And then once everything has done, then we have like maintenance phase. So maintenance phase is nothing but where like some service engineer or some onboarding team, they are maintaining their software. Some small issues are there, those things they are figuring it out and they are solving those issues. So those things comes under these SDLC phases. Now uh, let me talk about like each phases in physical way. So first thing is like requirement gathering and analysis. So this phase is nothing but here we are understanding the business needs, or we are understanding that what kind of problem is customer is facing to run their businesses, and to solve their businesses which kind of software that customer need. So here we are also uh, engage with that stakeholder to identifying the project goals, like why this project will make that to solve this problem, or why this like software is needed for that. Then we have to create that document where that we are writing that functional and non-functional requirements, and then we are also perform that some feasibility analysis where we are checking that like feasibility of that technologies, and like what kind of like things is needed and all those things. Then once it is done, then we have created that requirement specification document. Also it is called as an CRS, customer requirement specification. So basically, that requirement gathering and analysis, uh, analysis. This thing is like gathered through that BA team or business analyst team. They are actually analyzing the businesses. They are analyzing the businesses. They create that this kind of business requirement and all. Second thing is that is a most important thing, that is called like system designing. So here what happened, like here we have two types of design: high level design and low level design. So system design is nothing but here we are taking the requirement, and based upon that requirement we are creating the architecture of our designing software. So here what happened, like we are checking, we are we will discuss about like implementing the technologies. We are also checking which kind of databases we are needing, will need for this project, or which kind of data models is needed. And then we are getting that high level and low level design documents. High level means like that it is kind of the back end side, like how that software should work, like what is the structure of the software. So we are checking the structural diagram of the software. Then we have some low level design concept, like where that UI developer or UI UX developer, they are designing the software based upon like customer point of view. So those things comes under system architecture design. So this is that most crucial part where that software, like we are checking the software, we are creating the software. Like this is the first phase of that, creating the software. Another thing is like implementation. So here what happened, like developer, once that developer is like getting the like architecture or UI UX design, then they started writing the code. So we have branch of developers like front end developer, back end developer, full stack developer. So front end developer, their job is to see that UI UX designing from Figma point of view, or some UI perspective. Then they have started writing the code based upon that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and they are also using some kind of framework like React, Angular, this kind of thing. Then it comes under backend developer. That once like front end has been PPR, then that backend developer comes. Is like they are started writing the like logics and all. And full stack developer, they are also doing sometime backend as well as front end both. Now, what kind of objective we are actually doing, or what kind of objective like we are like doing here? So basically here we are like translate that system designing into code, and we are also writing the source code with that chosen programming language. Sometimes what happen, like different kind of programming language also involved, like Java, sometimes Python, now Next.js also, so this kind of different kind of languages, program languages we have to choose here. Then sometimes we have to change that programming languages also. Then kind of coding standard we need to follow, and coding guideline we need to follow. We cannot write that all things in a bootstrap way. We have to like segregate the things properly, segregate the different functions, and all those things uh, should be needed. And then we means like conduct some peer code reviews. It is nothing but like peer, where that we are like giving that code to that some kind of a system architecture or principal architecture. That architecture will go through the code, and he can like analyzing the code and checking that code is like proper or not. So those things uh, need to have. Then once it is done, then our source code has ready, then we have to write some code documentation. Code documentation is nothing but where we are creating the branch of document, where like we are discussing like that what kind of function is like used for, like what like this function is used for like what kind of purpose. So and like all those things we are mentioning here on the code documentation. Then it comes under testing phase. So testing phase is nothing but where that we are ensuring the software is free, it should be defect free, and it should be meet that proper criteria or proper requirement that what is customer is looking for. So basically we have branch of test cases. That test cases we need to execute it based upon that our software. So here we have some activities we need to follow while doing testing. First is like execute. Execute like various kind of testing types are there, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing, functional, non-functional, the smoke testing. Those things we need to execute it. Then once like test case has been executed, we need to identify and report the defects. Okay, then we'll have like a defect life cycle. That through the defect life cycle, that defect should be pushed to the developer, pushed to the respective developer. And then once that bug has been fixed, then we have to check the defect again. Then once it is done, then before release we have to perform some regression testing. And once it is done, then like we have to like document the proper test cases, and we have to create the proper test report. And also we have some defect logs report. So those things we need to submit. Then comes under deployment. So deployment is nothing but where that our code should be deployed to production. So this thing is actually handled by DevOps team, or some code deployment team. Now here main objective is like they are deploy the software to the live environment. So before deploying the software, we have branch of different kind of environment, like dev bed, test bed, then pre-staging, post-staging. So those things are there. So I'll discuss about this thing later video. Now here like we have to prepare a means like we have to prepare a proper deployment plan through this is the my deployment plan. So through this plan, we have to deploy the software. First of all, like it is comes like first we have to take the backup for that our like production. If that any kind of things got missed or any kind of things corrupted that our existing code, that's why we have to take backup. Then we have to deploy that our software there. So like we have to run this script. So those things comes under deployment plan. Then we have some we have to configure that our production environment in such a way that all code should be run proper. Now suppose that one guy have posted that one code that is used like React latest version. Now in production we have like older React version. So here we have to upgrade that React version. So this kind of things is actually checking here, like configure in production environment. Then once everything got done, then we have to deploy the software. Now we have some branch of deliverables, like we have some deployment guide or deployed software. So those things called deliverables. And then comes under maintenance perspective. So maintenance is nothing but some small issues are there. Some product bug has arise from customer point of view. Those things we need to fix. Some kind of miss scenarios we have missed from our end. Those things we need to fix. So what kind of main objective here? So basically here main objective is like maintain and enhance the software post development basically. And here we are monitoring that software performance also. We are also doing some kind of load testing. But those things we can do on production. Pre-production we have to do those things. And then if there any kind of issues and bugs are reported from that user side, then we have to fix those issues. And if there any kind of update or enhancement is required, then we also have to do these things. We have to create the maintenance report. We have to create that RTM requirement traceability matrix. So through that RTM, we can check it like all the requirement has fulfilled or not. Then if there any kind of things got missed from our side, then we have to send some patch or software update. So that's why you have seen like on like lots of small patches are coming for that in kind of like software. That patches we have to mention like this is then our known error, that issue we have fixed, and this requirement we have missed. So now let's talk about SDLC models. So as SDLC is a most popular framework, so we have like branch of models are there. Those models is nothing but like that the way to make the softwares. So first model is like our waterfall model. Waterfall model, that is a very older model, and also it is called linear model. So waterfall model, what happened like all things are comes with a such a way that everything should be like proper step by step. It is kind of waterfall, looking like a waterfall. Now second model is like most popular, that is called agile model. It is a iterative and incremental approach, and most of that industry, 99% industry is following this agile model. And agile model we have branch of frameworks or branch of agile methodologies like scrum, so those things are there. Then we have BNB model. It is like validation and verification approach. And also we have some spiral model, that is also a risk driven approach where that iterative development is there. So those things I'll discuss on that separate video regarding that all HDLC models. Now, some best practices in HDLC is like first we have to understand the requirement. We have to analyze the requirement. What kind of business, what kind of a software is customer is needed. So those things we have to figure it out. Second is like we have to do some communication, branch of communication or effective communication, where we are collaborating between our stakeholder and all top management, where that we can understand that why this software is helpful for customer point of view. Then we have to do some regular testing, like frequent early and frequent testing approach for that catch the defect earlier. As a tester, our job is like we have to catch the defect before it went to production. Then we have to create a proper maintained document where that all things should be there, like testing to development to deployment, all things should be like there on this proper document. And also we have to create that document where that we are like where we are showcase that proper software documentation. like here you need to go this is like this button is used for this function. So those things I'm telling here. Now another thing is some change management. We if that any kind of change is coming from customer side, then those changes we need to follow. Now, what is the call in action thing? Call in action thing, it is nothing but some best practices of our HDLC process to implement those best practices. So through that processes, we are actually like improving our efficiency and our quality of our software. So this is the most important thing. Now here that like this video conclusion is like that software is a HDLC is a crucial framework where that we are ensuring that like good quality software. Another thing is like following that HDLC processes we can successfully deliver that our software projects. So guys, that's all about this video. If you guys have any kind of doubt, please comment down. And if if I am free there, and I'll surely I'll surely reply. And thank you for your valuable time, and thanks for watching.